This episode of the I Am Salt Lake podcast is brought to you by Sorry Clementine Clothing, located at 366 South 500 East, number 104, in beautiful downtown Salt Lake City.
Hey, what's up, Salt Lake City? Welcome to the I Am Salt Lake podcast, episode 23. I am your host, Chris Hollifield. I am your guide from episode to episode, showing different professionals, musicians, locals, just everyday amazing people that are doing really cool stuff here in Salt Lake City to make it a little bit better. So thank you very much. If you haven't, go on over to iamsaltlake.com. That's going to connect you with each and every episode of the podcast so you can download them and listen to them and learn more about this wonderful city that you live in. So thank you very much. This episode, I had an opportunity to sit down with Mieke at Gingermade Soap. She is a local soap company here in the Salt Lake City area. We sat down after hours at the Sorry Clementine shop. And we got to get to know each other. She told me all about her soap company, how she started, different trial and errors, as well as took a peek at some of her different soaps and lip balms and all of her products. So I'm going to list those over at iamsaltlake.com/episode 23. That way you can connect with her on Facebook, Etsy, as well as her website, gingermade.com. So again, thank you very much for downloading the I Am Salt Lake podcast. Just give us a little bit of history on how you started making soap and how Gingermade Soap kind of evolved. How did that idea?
Okay, well, I've been a massage therapist for over 10 years, and so years ago, doing massage, I started reading the ingredients on all of the massage oils, and I'd already kind of had my introduction to essential oils doing massage, and I learned very quickly how much unnecessary an ingredient was in the commercial massage oils, the ones they use at the spas. They use a lot of ingredients in them to give them a long shelf life, and so I started blending my own massage oils and essential oils to use on my clients, and I had actually an idea years ago to start my own business with massage oils, but I wasn't quite sure where to begin something like that because not very many people use massage oil. So I decided that would be kind of difficult to do and look for some other way to begin a business where I could incorporate massage oils into it. And then a few years ago, I started, again, looking into ideas for, what I could start for a business. And somebody was talking to me about soap. And I had never considered soap before. It sounded really technical and difficult. And I just started doing research and falling asleep every night reading books about how to make soap and started gathering supplies and decided that would be my starting point. So I'm mostly self-taught, and because I was a little gun-shy to work with the lye because I do make everything from scratch. Mm-hmm. And so I have a sister who at the time was living in Bellingham, Washington, and there's a supplier up there, and they offer classes. So I kind of signed up for a class up in Washington just as an excuse, mostly to take a road trip and get a class under my belt, so I could go ahead and start using all these supplies I had gathered, and then from there. I actually started making soap. I think it was about 2 years ago this week.
So are you still doing massage therapy then?
I don't have time to do massage right now. This has been keeping me so
with your soaps have been keeping you so busy.
Well, I kind of have time in the spring because last year I was at different farmers markets around in the valley, and then this year I got into the downtown farmers market, and that just kept me so extremely busy because I was going from last year I was making 3 pounds at a time to now I've graduated to 45 pounds at a time. And
of soap.
Yeah. So, and
so, I mean, wow.
And so I have people that have actually contacted me for a massage in the last couple months, and I'm so busy I don't even have time to call them back or email them back.
So maybe I missed it when you did. So how long have you been making soap then? How many years?
I just started making soap 2 years ago. So, but I've kind of been gaining knowledge on the ingredients on all these different products for longer than that. Since I've been a massage therapist for over 10 years. So. Okay. So, but soap was kind of the new thing. So I do plan on having a whole line of bath and body products and incorporating massage oils into that at some point. Right now, I'm just scrambling. I'm having a lot of growing pains, struggling to keep up with soap.
But you do offer other products,
yeah, and I do have some other products.
What are some of the other products that you make?
Well, right now, some of the other products I have.
People listening in here.
I have lip balms. Right now I have 19 different lip balms. I did bring a few. Yeah, so
we're looking here at some of the Gingermade lip balms, strawberry swirl. We got coffee mint. We got black liquid. So but when you started, you just made soaps, and then you were like, okay, maybe I need to branch out and do lip balms.
I always knew I would have to have other products, and so a lot of these have been. They've been projects, I should say, that I've been working on the whole time, just kind of not selling them, and experimenting on myself and friends, having friends test them out and myself. And sometimes if I have some time and if I need something specialized just for me or somebody else, I'll whip it up and try it. And if I like it, I'll make it again. I'll consider selling it. So
what are some of so you got some lotions here?
Yeah, these are solid lotions. So they're natural beeswax and candelilla wax, and then you have a bunch of organic oils and butters in them, and some antioxidants and extracts and essential oils. And then most of my products are essential oil based, and then I do have a few with fragrance in them. So,
and I noticed most of them say organic.
They do have a lot of organic ingredients.
Are a lot of them vegan?
Most of them are vegan. I wasn't quite sure at first because I realized that I did not want to use any animal fats or tallows. I've been vegan before. I'm not anymore. I respect the lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And I don't feel that, I feel like we already consume so much already. There's not a need for us to consume more in our bath and body products. We don't need to put lard and animal fats into, they have their benefits, but that was my choice to leave those out of my products. And so I do have a few soaps that have goat's milk in them, and then I do have a couple now that have cruelty-free silk in them.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind
yeah, and I never understood, before what that meant, how the silk was extracted from the silkworms until I came across this silk. So
what are some of the biggest challenges that you've come across with making handmade soaps?
Time. I'm wearing anything. I doing everything myself. I'm the laborer. I make everything. I have to package everything, label everything. I have to design the labels myself. I've been running into problems with that. I have to market everything myself. I have to do all the social networking myself. I have to take the product to the markets and festivals and everywhere all by myself.
So do you see yourself ever hiring anybody to help you?
Hopefully, that's the idea, that I'll get to a point where I can move out of my home and into a production facility and be able to hire at least a couple of people to begin with. I've been trying to find a couple interns right now to kind of help me, and hopefully they would be somebody that would fit the profile that would want to grow into a paid position one day once the company gets big enough for that. So because I need to find somebody that would really be as passionate about it as I am, and that's really willing to learn and the ingredients and the process. And
besides buying like one of your products, one of your handmade soaps, obviously supporting a local person such as yourself, but what would you say the biggest difference is buying a handmade soap versus a store-bought
there's
deodorant
a lot
soap?
of difference. There's a huge difference. I mean, once you've compared the two to homemade soap versus a commercial store-bought soap, I don't know how you can switch back to the commercial soap. The commercial soaps are so harsh on your skin. They're full of detergents and sulfates, which are foaming agents, preservatives. If you pick up a bar of Irish Spring, or I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head, if you read the ingredient list, I mean, most likely most of those ingredients you're not even going to know what they are. And lard is going to be in there. There's going to be animal products, and you don't realize that you're picking that up and you're using it on your skin, and maybe you're a vegan or a vegetarian, or you choose not to, you're making choices every day about what to use on your body, and you don't realize that all of these things are in there. And so there's a lot of ingredients in those bars that they'll dry your skin out, and then they've put a lot of ingredients in them to give them a long shelf life as well. And so they're cheaper, yes, but they're mass produced. There's a lot of fillers in them. There's the palm oil that they use in bars like that is not sustainable, and that's a big issue in the industry. Palm that is destroying the rainforest, and so when I discovered that, I decided that I would use less palm and make sure mine is always coming from sustainable and organic resources.
That's cool. So what are a few things that you wished you would have known when you started making soap that maybe you know now? I mean, or between trial and error?
Of course, there's always going to be a trial and error with everything. When I was doing massage full time, I definitely faced my challenges with massage, and I had a share of trial and error. But I didn't have a full knowledge, understanding before of, essential oils versus fragrance oils to begin with. I knew what essential oils were, but so I just kind of went out and I just made a whole lot of purchases on ingredients that I didn't really know what they were. I just knew that they were used in soap, and I just decided to kind of just play around, experiment around with different ingredients. And so there were ingredients that I have used when I first started that I no longer use. Like I was using soy in a lot of products, and I chose to no longer use soy because most of the soy is GMO, and it can cause allergic reactions to people with nut allergies.
Do you find that people, like, a lot of people don't really realize when you're washing yourself with soap or deodorants, I mean, your body absorbs it. It's I mean, it's the same concept of almost eating it, really. I mean, do you find a lot of people aren't really even educated when it comes to that, or?
I think there's a lot of people that are conscious and aware of that, and a lot of people that aren't. People that have to be conscious and aware, they are definitely. I mean, somebody with allergies, they're gonna
be a little more conscious.
Yeah,
it's not so much aware, but that they don't even know. It's like, wow, I didn't realize that putting on that commercial deodorant is going into my skin.
There's people that don't care, and then there's people that just don't know. They just haven't taken the time, or just haven't been informed. They haven't, and I was there myself. I didn't know.
Yeah,
and so. I think going through massage school, it does kind of open your eyes to a lot of things, so that was kind of a beginning point for me, I guess. And then I was also raised by a mother that used a lot of natural alternative methods with us growing up, rather than taking us to the doctor for every little thing. She would have a home remedy for it, and so I always thought that was...
So it kind of trailed on with you a little bit, and I mean, now, so all those years of probably, oh gosh, Mom, why do you got to, do that? It's
yeah, I know.
Rubbed off on
It was ridiculous. She's crazy. She's my mom. But then there were a lot of things that, when I had kids, I found myself doing, as well. Well, my mom did this with us and it worked, and so let's try it.
Yeah.
We don't need to go to the doctor for every little thing.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people just run for every little thing, a cold, and it's like, come on, just get a little bit of rest. What's been the most rewarding thing, do you think, with running your own business?
It's so much hard work, and it does have me working 7 days a week, but it does make me happy knowing that I'm in control of it. I'm in control of my destiny, and I'm people can tell me directly how much they enjoy the products I'm creating, and I'm my own boss. I push myself as hard as I feel like I can push myself every day, which is far harder than I ever thought I could be pushed. And definitely, if I was working for somebody else right now, I couldn't push myself this hard.
Yes, I mean, what motivates you? I mean, just that. I mean, the inspiration. I mean, what inspires you to do this?
It's creativity.
Yeah,
it is. I have discovered about myself that I do have to allow myself creative outlets, and this is a forum for me. I can be as creative as I want. I've made jewelry on and off for years since I was a kid. I've painted a little bit here and there. I've done all sorts of things, and this is something where I can actually make a business out of it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, when you started this, did you think you could get to this point that you're at today?
I didn't know that I was going to be making so much soap.
You didn't know you were going to be making soap?
But I've kind of gotten such a great reaction with all the varieties that I have with it, and there's definitely ones where they're less popular. I've chosen not to make them again, and then there's always new ones, and so
well, let's talk about I know we kind of touched a second at the beginning, but I want to talk a little quick more. What are some of your top seller soaps that you have here?
The ones with essential oils are definitely top sellers. I have several different ones that are made with beer, and that's one of them. And the beer bars are really popular. Lately, I've been using beer from Epic Brewing, and
local brewer.
Yeah, and so I found out that's another beer soap. I found out that
I noticed how I'm attracted to the beer soap.
Yeah, well, I discovered years ago you could, when I was reading about soap making, that you could make soap with beer. And so
is there any benefit to that?
Yeah, well, it makes a really rich, creamy, nourishing lather, and most people have heard of beer used in their hair for shampoo, because that makes your hair really shiny, but not as many people have heard about beer for soap. So I tried it. It is a lot. It's definitely not for beginners when you're making soap. I kind of have to go outside when I mix the lye and the beer together.
Pretty strong.
Yeah, it takes a lot longer. It's a lot more work, and I've had a few close calls where I thought things were going to go south. And
what do your neighbors think of your?
I have very little time to socialize with the neighbors.
I didn't know if maybe they probably smell all this.
One of them did say something to me a few weeks ago. I talked to her a few minutes, and she's like, I thought I smelled, she's something coming from your house. I didn't know if you were cooking or what. and I said it's probably the essential oils. So, yeah, and people when they walk in my house, they smell,
pretty strong,
yeah. I'm kind of immune to it.
Yeah.
But so some of the other popular ones.
How many different ones do you have?
Oh, I don't know right here. I'd have to count them.
I mean, would you say? I mean, you probably have a good 50 different scents. Or not that many.
I have
maybe.
at point I've had up to 40. I was kind of trying to reach that goal again. By Christmas, I don't think it's going to happen at this point. But some of that means that there's seasonal ones, and then there's going to be limited edition ones. So this wit beer, that's a seasonal soap because Epic only brews that. It's a summer beer, so it's not gonna. Once this batch is gone, this batch of soap, then it's gone until I get more next year. So, and then I have some ones for the holidays, this candy cane and the frankincense and myrrh, and I'm working on another one, orange, cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg.
What makes you decide on a new scent? I mean, just that's...
Inspiration can come from anywhere, just out and about and catch a whiff of something and a whiff of something else and think, I like the way those smells mesh together. That sounds good for a soap. I made the day I made this wit beer soap, I also made a new batch of the black licorice soap. And then I just, really loved the coriander, the orange, the anise, the fennel, all of these meshing in my house at the same time. And so right away was born another, inspiration for another soap that to be put on the list. So
this black licorice smells great.
Not everybody loves it. Either you love it or you hate it. I get mixed reactions with that. This one is pretty popular. Also, this is my blemish bar. Activated charcoal is what makes it black. It's for people with acne-prone skin. So it's the activated charcoal helps pull out impurities and excess oils, and it has clays in it, organic orange peel powder, organic neem powder, neem oil, a bunch of essential oils, rosemary, peppermint, and lemon. And so it works to pull out excess oils and impurities out of the skin. And I made this for me when I first started making it because I was frustrated with my skin, and I, again, was kind of drawn to creating my own home remedy for that instead of dumping money down in the drain on a bunch of expensive products. So I started selling it. I loved the results, and I started selling it, and it's been a top seller. Yeah, people come back. They'll start with a little bar, take it home, try it, and then they'll come back and they'll buy bigger bars because they love the results, and it's much simpler to use, and it's much cheaper than a lot of those other products.
And now let's talk a little bit about where, say, somebody who's listening in, they're kind of hopefully a little intrigued if they haven't purchased anything yet from you. You can buy it on Etsy. You're on Etsy.
I'm on Etsy, and I have a website.
And it's Gingermade.com. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you sell out at any local stores in Salt Lake area?
There's a few. There's Mololo Gardens downtown across from Pioneer Park, and they are stocked with a bunch of my products right now. And there's also Earth Goods General Store. They have some of my soaps only. They're kind of hard to find when you walk in because they're on the bottom shelf. So, and then there's also Trifecta Design in Sugar House. But I am looking to expand into some more stores. I just haven't had the time, which has also been another challenge to find the time to go around and make contacts, but to wholesale. But I did have a meeting last week in Park City, so there might be some very exciting news soon.
With a couple of places out in Park City.
Yeah, I've been approached by a lot of places, spas and other businesses that want to carry my soaps. So hopefully I'll have some good news in the next few weeks of a place in Park City that will be carrying my products.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I really love to see local business here in the Salt Lake area, and especially with what you're doing with your soaps. I mean, do you have time for anything else, or is this pretty much keeping you busy? Do you have any other hobbies or interests, or is that kind of just out the window right now?
I don't have time for anything else right now.
Yeah.
I don't have time to answer the phone or return text messages. Friends and family get a little frustrated with me because I just, I've kind of lost contact with a lot of people because I've just been so busy. And And people that are close to me know that, so if they're going to come over to my house, that they're going to have to talk to me while I'm working.
While you're working.
Yeah. So.
Well, I appreciate you making a little bit of time here to come and share your story with us with this. I mean, this is great. And you mentioned, you got some soap at home working on that.
Yeah, I got to go rush back home and finish up a batch of soap.
Well, do you take special requests at all from customers?
It depends on what it is. If it's a special request for soap, that's a little more difficult because I would probably require them to buy a minimum amount and with a deposit in advance. I mean, I do take suggestions into consideration, and a lot of times that's where some of my new ideas are born, is from suggestions. If it's something like a newer product and I just made a kind of a base batch, and I like with the solid lotions or the lip balms, and I haven't packaged it up yet and added essential oils or fragrance to it, then I've taken suggestions for that as well. I could do more custom work that way. The same with these are solid perfumes and kind of the same thing. I can it's more easily to customize.
And you're probably pretty busy with the holidays coming up too. I mean, would you say Christmas is your busiest time of the year?
Yeah, definitely. And I just went from being super busy with the downtown farmers market to just getting crazy busy getting ready for the holidays. And because everything, is already starting to get crazy.
No, I know how. I deal with them.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, I'm going to let you get going. I know you got to get back to your soap here, and I'm going to list all your links on the website, thegingermade.com. You're on Facebook. Are you on Twitter or no?
I do have a Twitter, but
you don't really do it. No, and that's understandable.
Usually if I list a new item on Etsy, there's like a little Twitter link button and that's about all I do on Twitter.
No, that's great. Well, I think I got pretty much all your items here in front of me, and you got a fantastic product. Any of other events coming up that you want to kind of plug a little bit that you're going to be at?
I will be, the Downtown Alliance is putting on a winter holiday market at the Gallivan Center. And so I should be there most weekends.
Okay.
I'm not for 100% positive about this weekend right after Thanksgiving. Yeah. There is a chance I might kind of go to another venue up north, but I have the big bodacious Christmas boutique at Southtown Convention Center, I believe, the weekend of the 15th. There's some other there's a church.
Probably best just follow you on Facebook and keep up with where you're going to be at and even order from there. Maybe hit up some of the local retailers in Salt Lake.
Yeah, I don't sell out of my home. So people get confused with that. But you can order off of the website, the Etsy shop, or any of the stores that carry my products. Or if you follow me on Facebook, you can find me at one of my events.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I'm going to have to take a longer look at some of these soaps here. Thanks for coming on the I Am Salt Lake podcast here today.
Thank you for having me.
Seriously, thank you so much, Mieke, over at Gingermade Soap, for taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule and coming over and sitting down and sharing your story with me to put on the podcast and share with the rest of the world. Thank you very much, the listener, to take your time out of your day and listen to this story. And feel free to connect with her. I'm going to go ahead and put all those links at iamsaltlake.com/episode 23, so you can connect with her on Facebook, Etsy, and as well as her website. And remember to support her. Seriously, handmade in Utah. That is really awesome. And she makes great Christmas gifts for your loved ones. And speaking of Christmas gifts, I hope you guys seriously are trying to shop local this holiday season. Keep the money here in Salt Lake City. Keep the money here in Utah, and help somebody out. You really have no idea what buying $10, $20 from a local artist, what that really does for their day. So seriously, support local. And there's just a few people also I want to really thank you for your continual support with the podcast. First of all, I really want to thank my wonderful wife, Suzanne, and her business, Sorry Clementine. She's located at 366 South, 500 East number 104 in beautiful downtown Salt Lake City. She has been a really big support for the podcast, so be sure to support her. Take a little stop at her shop. Sorry, Clementine. It is women's clothing, but hey, guys, she does have gift certificates for your wives or girlfriends. So seriously, support her. She lets me do some recording there in her shop after hours. Without her, I wouldn't be able to be around. Also, support Christian Coleman and the Blues End Band, as well as the Hive Gallery. He has been a really, really big support for the podcast. He has helped me out in so many ways with his music, as well as getting the word out about the podcast. So support them as well. Hive Gallery, I did an interview with them in episode 7 of the podcast. I'm also going to be bringing Christian Coleman and the Blues End Band on very, very soon here. So be sure to keep an eye out for that episode. If you do like the project that I'm doing, feel free to tweet about it. Post it on Facebook. That help is really, really awesome, and it really helps us out, gets the word out. Leave us a review on iTunes. Also, feel free to kick on over $1 or $2 at iamsaltlake.com/donate. The funds help keep the podcast going. So until then, we'll be back on Sunday showcasing another professional, another individual, somebody else who's just really doing some awesome stuff here in Salt Lake City. So you guys have a great night, and thank you for downloading the I Am Salt Lake podcast.